everyone, it's Lauren Messiah, and today we are jumping back into the anti-style type series. If you're just joining us, the anti-style type series are the style types that you should not aspire to emulate. These are bad styles, okay? If you want good style types, then head over to my past series called the Style Type series. That's where you'll get all sorts of goodies on how to, come up with your signature style and all sorts of fun stuff. But here we're having a little bit of fun. We're poking a little fun at bad fashion, but we're also going to learn from it because bad style is a symptom of a larger issue, and we're going to uncover all that stuff today. So with that being said, today's anti-style type is Worn Out Wendy. All right, Worn Out Wendy, who is she? Worn Out Wendy wears some old, tattered goods. She looks like she's been through the car wash without the damn car, okay? Pit stains, rips, frays. Her clothes are worn out. It's not even about being dated. Remember Dated Debbie? It's not even about that. Although Worn Out Wendy's clothes are pretty old and dated as well, but they're also they're trashed. They are trashed clothes, and it is not a good look. No one wants to walk around, especially if you're gainfully employed and living your best life, looking like you could also live on the street, okay? So what's going on with our friend Worn Out Wendy in her worn out clothes? Now, a lot of the time, not all of the time, but in my experience, remember, I'm not just pulling out these anti-style types out of thin air. I've been working as a personal stylist for nearly a decade, and I have run into all of these types. I have studied this stuff like to the moon and back, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Most of the time, Worn Out Wendy grew up without a lot of money, okay? So when you grow up with less, there are some pros to that. You really value what you have. You really try to extend the life of it. Whereas if you grew up with a lot, you're like, whatever, worn it once, get rid of it, who cares? Like, they're just objects and they don't really hold like a lot of weight with you. But when you grew up with less, you really feel this need to hold on to it because maybe that's all that you had. And that was life for you. There's no like good or bad. It's not like, oh, you grew up poor, so you're so like noble and like good for you. And if you grew up rich, then you're a freaking jerk. It's just those were the cards that you were dealt at the time, but it's a matter of what you're gonna do with that information now. So a lot of Worn Out Wendy's that I come across, they grew up poor, they had to hang on to clothes forever, they were used to wearing things kind of past their prime, but as they've grown up as adults and they have money now, they have their own job, they could easily purchase new clothing, they're still stuck in that mindset of this must last forever and it's still good, so I ain't getting rid of it. But what they're not realizing are those decisions are holding them back, and it's keeping them in that scarcity mindset that there's not enough, and it's really kind of capping their level of success. Now, a Worn Out Wendy immediately comes to mind. It's a person that I am acquainted with. I wish they would become a client, like if I had one wish. But she's very smart. She's very successful. She's actually quite good at saving money. She's actually kind of like a hoarder of money. But girl will not spend any money on herself, and her clothes are pit stained. They're ripped. And she wonders why she's not advancing further in her career. She's wondering why she's not getting like a quality boyfriend. Comes back to the clothes, okay? I know it sounds crazy that something so simple as what you put on your back could really change the trajectory of your life, but it really is true. What kind of people do you think you're going to attract if you are wearing dirty clothes? If you raise your arm and you have a pit stain, do you think you're gonna like reel in a 10? No. You think you're gonna get the corner office? No. So Worn Out Wendy's of the world, we've got to step it up. We have got to get rid of those old tattered clothes, and we have to not be so afraid to spend money. Your poor days are behind you. Your scarcity days are behind you. Maybe you weren't poor, but maybe it was just the values that your parents raised you with. You're a new person now. Let it go. So how are we gonna fix this? The easiest fashion fix is to start purging. Clean out that closet. A closet cleanse is so healing. You learn so much from it. You can grow from it. And guess what? When you have nothing, you have no choice but to replace it with new things. So it's easier said than done. Doing a closet cleanse is extremely challenging. That's why I do it with my clients. That's why for my virtual clients, I have a system to go through with worksheets and the whole 9 yards, because it's very challenging, but the healing on the other side is just so magical that I would hate for you to miss that. So if you are Worn Out Wendy, take those tips, take them to heart, think about it, maybe put them into practice. There is hope for you. Thank you so much for watching, and join me next time because we will be going into yet another anti-style type. See you soon.